What's up, everybody? It's Supersmallchibiwolf, and today I'm going to be reviewing Superdimensional Romanesque Samy Missing 99. This is a one episode over a series, and the first thing I want to talk about are the characters. The characters were cool and great, and the first character I want to talk about is Samy. Now, Samy, she was great, and I enjoyed her. She was a cool girl that was placed in a crazy situation, but learns how to adapt in the mysterious and crazy new world that she has been placed in. I like her because besides her design, I enjoy watching her character development from being a normal schoolgirl. She slowly transitions into a girl that learns how to deal with the craziness that is happening around her. Next character I want to talk about is Marilyn. Marilyn? I think it was, yeah, it's spelled Marilyn, but I believe it was pronounced Marilyn at one point. So, I'm gonna go with what I remember it being pronounced. Now, Marilyn, he was a cool dog that tends to be loyal to Samy. He would be there to fight and defend her. He would be loyal. He would follow her through space and time, going along with her in this crazy adventure of hers. Pretty cool dog. Now, the other characters were good and interesting in a way. But I like Samy and Marilyn more than the others. Now, the villains were okay. They weren't really that cool, in my opinion. Yeah. What was his name? Noah, I believe. He was he was pretty good. What was that? I think, yeah, he was a good one. And yeah, besides all that, I think, for me personally, the characters that truly stand out was Samy and Marilyn. But the other characters were, I'd say, okay. I think the villains, though, could be a little bit better. Like, they kind of were there, but I feel like they could have done more with the villains. But that's how I feel. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is the music. Now, I love the music. Now, let me just say this. The music was great, and I loved it. I loved the music more than the other characters, which I didn't even get into that much, into detail. Now, I would say, the intro and outro has the same song. In my opinion, I would have enjoyed maybe, different of, what was it? Variety of music, and unfortunately we didn't get that here. We got like the intro and the outro all the same music. I even went back to the intro in the beginning, listened, watched the first 3 minutes, went back to the outro, and yeah, it was the same thing. So overall, at least the music was great, so I could say that. Now I think, it's just, I mean, it's a good thing to have, great music. And yeah, it's pretty cool. Now, the story goes one day, on her way to school, she is chased by a motorcycle gang who plans to get her due to her seeing them mess with other schoolgirls. As she runs away, uh, Noah comes in. It scares them away. He scares them away. But later on, while she is at school, they return and they plan to get her. As they start riding their motorcycles around, trying to intimidate her and chasing after her dog as well, Noah decides to take her inside the school so they can be safe. But unfortunately, the motorcycle crew notices this and follows them inside along with their motorcycle. So, while inside, Samy and Noah decides to hide inside of a classroom, but a sequence of many supernatural things start happening while in the classroom, which results in Samy getting dragged by a skeleton into a dimension portal, and her dog Marilyn and Noah go after to save her, jumping in into the same portal that she was pulled into. So once arrived, falling into this mysterious world, they are carefully caught and carried by a flying creature, or to be honest, it kind of looks like a petosaur. It's a type of dinosaur that you see in a lot of dinosaur movies that it flies. It's like that most common dinosaur, flying dinosaur. So, which is a yeah, and he basically drops her to safety. So at this time, Noah explains that Sammy is a girl that with mysterious powers. Due to this, Noah he plans to kill her before she discovers her powers, which at that point they cannot compete with. From here, Sam's crazy adventures begin. Pretty cool, pretty cool story, I think. Now, one thing I want to say is, what was it, the villain? Yeah, it's pretty interesting. At first I was like, this is pretty cool and great, and I think OVAs in general tend to have a lot of interesting things. Now, I think this being OVA, I would say it's one of the better OVAs because I've seen some that was unfortunately, but I am happy to say that this is one of those good ones, and I'm happy that I watched it. You know, I've known about it for like a couple of months now. But yeah, now this is more of a fun anime, nothing too serious, nothing too like complicated, not too much drama like I will compare to other ones. Which don't get me wrong, anime that gets into detail, gets serious, gets interesting, mysterious, and all that stuff. It's good, but in my opinion, it's fun to once in a while chill out and see something like okay, this is good if it's done correctly, a nice balance between drama, um, fighting, and the seriousness and all that. Not too much of one or the other. All that. A nice balance. I think that's what makes either what was it, a good anime, good OVA, good whatever. Overall, I think that's important to have that balance. So after watching this, I think it does have a great balance. And also, I would say is so, well, I kind of wanted to save this till the end, so this is basically the outro part. But I wanted to, what was it? A lot of times, I remember, what was it? I talked about Dream Hunter Rim, right? Yeah, of course, I talk about it more than any other anime, apparently. But it kind of reminds me of that, to be honest. And that's not, that's a really great thing. I was like, two girls dragged into this world, and then it's like crazy randomness starts to happen, and it's just all out so cool. And then it has so what was it, different types of technology. Well, yeah, and you see like these crazy ass things happening, and overall, I think this is a pretty cool anime. So after watching Superdimensional Romanesque Samy Mr. 99, I think this is a anime that was really great and it was fun to watch. Now, this being a sci-fi anime is not the most interesting, but that doesn't mean to it's bad. You know what I mean? That means it could have done better, compared to other anime. But I would say it's a really good one, and I truly recommend it if you haven't watched it already. Also, from the music to the two characters which I really enjoyed, and the story that was it was interesting, nice. I recommend watching it. It's pretty cool anime. Now the animes that I recommend watching are Dream Hunter Rim because it has some similarities here and there, and I also love that anime a lot. And Akira because why not? Akira is like this crazy sci-fi adventure with cool, spunky characters and so much other stuff that's so cool and it's really important in anime history. So it's also sci-fi. So yeah, overall, with all three animes recommended, I hope you enjoyed your day and I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, bye.